Loki episode 3. What is your guys' initial thoughts?
I thought this episode started off good. It started off good. I really liked the scene with one of the TVA agents.
Which one?
Well, with a TVA agent when she was having dinner with her.
Oh, the margaritas?
Her
Yeah.
enchantment, how her
Yeah.
enchantment works is crazy.
Yeah, because that's how it started off, right?
Well,
Yeah, that was
since-
like the beginning.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's how it started off.
hmm
What's interesting, and I was thinking about today, you know how she was talking about the brain freeze and how it stops your memories in that point? It freezes your memories. Do you guys remember her saying that?
Yeah, I
No
do.
way.
I don't know if she was indicate or kind of like saying that that's how her powers work and that she stops somebody in their memories and that's what she was exploring with that girl, or if maybe she was foreshadowing what the TVA is doing with their agents.
Ooh.
I think maybe that now we know they're all variants because of what was said, which is crazy to think. That makes sense though, that all these people, and look at what's happening to Loki right now. Loki is slowly starting to work for the TVA and he's a variant. Maybe that's how it starts.
Oh, okay.
So the TVA gets you, and then they slowly start building this empire of all these variants that are just keeping control of the timeline or whatever is going on. But the thing is that maybe their memories is frozen in time, and that's why they don't question anything. Because I don't know if that was a foreshadow for
That's
that
true.
or not, but that's
Yeah.
just what I was thinking.
Yeah. But I really like that scene, and then it starts off with her. Well, then it goes, or was that? No, that was before the. What do you call it? What do you call the opening scene when it shows the title?
Yeah, that was before the. I
Yeah.
don't know what you call that. What do you call that?
What are you guys talking
But
about?
then
Definitely a
but
name
then
for that.
but then it goes
Where
into.
it shows like the Loki black and
Oh, yeah.
white title.
Wasn't that when they got to the planet?
Yeah, I think.
Right?
So,
What was it
something
called? Lamentis?
like that. Lamentis, I think.
Lamtis?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Lamentis. Well, basically, Loki screwed up her plans, as she said that she's been making for the last like 100 or the last couple years in the making
Yeah.
or something like that.
But you want to know what's crazy? It seems like she doesn't know anything about herself, though, right? Isn't that what the episode was kind of implying the whole time?
A little bit, but I also
Mm.
wonder that maybe it's just that she's not giving up a lot of information to this Loki
Yeah.
because you can't trust a Loki.
Do you
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Because when they start talking, I know I'm just jumping right straight to the out of nowhere, but when she
No,
just
you're
started
good.
talking about talking about their past with their mothers and stuff, when she was talking about it, like it almost seemed like she was genuinely like, oh, I've been running. She said right, she was running from the TVA the whole time. Like
Her whole life.
it feels like something like Mobius. Remember what is it Mobius, right?
Yeah.
I felt like what Mobius said, like, oh, I've always just worked for the TVA. It felt like it was just like, I don't know.
Well, think about it. When did she make the decision that caused her to go off of the normal timeline? When did that happen for her? That could have happened when she was super young or something, and
Oh,
she
that's
never
right.
lived a life, and now
Yeah.
she's interested in Loki, or she just had a completely different, um, timeline than Loki, and she had completely different experiences from him, so she's interested. She did say that she was adopted and that they told her that she was adopted. So she was in Asgard at some point. But
Oh, okay.
I wonder when, like we were saying, like when did that happen to her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted in the episode, and it kind of makes sense if you're not giving enough information to somebody you don't trust, because the whole episode was them trying to find like maybe some trust within each other to go back to the TVA. But I wanted Loki to ask more questions, like how long you've been running, like what was your life, like I wanted him to dive deep into that.
But he probably knows that, like, knowing himself, like, he wouldn't reveal
Yeah.
that to just some random person. So he's probably like, I'm not even gonna try.
True. True.
Or they're gonna save it for like a big thing later, like a big story. I feel like they're gonna give her a really good backstory.
I hope they do.
Definitely hope so.
I hope.
Yeah, I
they
hope
do.
'Cause we
so.
still-
Because she seems
we don't
awesome.
even-
I really like Lady Loki.
Yeah.
She's really
Hell
cool.
yeah.
What's her name?
She did
Sylvia, right?
Go ahead.
So it's Sylvie, right? Sylvie?
Sylvie.
Sylvie. Yeah, that's her.
Sylvie.
That's what she wants to start going by because she doesn't want to be called Loki anymore. Which maybe that's her whole thing, is that like she's been stuck in this loop, in this super long game with the TVA, that she doesn't want to be Loki because that's not even her identity anymore because she's been doing this for so long.
It could also be how can I word this good is like what I liked about this episode. Well, right after the opening scene, it goes into them entering the TVA, right? And she's like trying to find what was she trying to find at the beginning? Who's guarding the timekeepers, right? Um, I don't know. It's just like it seems like everything's planned. She just wants to like get her own path, you know. She wants to go by Sylvie instead of what the timekeepers gave her.
I wonder how big of an impact or how big of the importance of her dropping all the bombs on the timeline. Was it simply to just get everybody out of there? Or did those actually have a purpose of where she dropped those bombs, you know? Because it kind of seemed like she just wanted everybody out of there so she could get to the timekeepers. It doesn't seem like she really cared about the sacred timeline at all. Does that make sense? You know? Because it seemed like she would, if she did, I don't know her whole plot because we've got a bunch of more episodes to go. But
Well, I mean, we're halfway done, aren't we? Isn't it like 3 more episodes left?
well, the interesting thing is that this episode was only 30 minutes, around there with credits.
Like 42.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige said that this series was 6 hours. So if this episode was around 30 with credits, that means maybe there's more than 6 because everybody thought there was 6 because up at this point they're all an hour long, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more than 6 episodes now because this one was shorter. I don't know.
I hope not, dude, because I don't know. I want to be able to. What I liked about Falcon and the Winter Soldier was because the episodes were so long, we got so much at that one point, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, they did also kind of fumble it that way as well.
A little bit.
It's kind of tricky, I guess, huh?
Just finding that balance. I think this show is still moving at a good pace.
Oh,
This
definitely.
obviously slowed it down, but
Mhm.
I think it needed to happen to build some kind of a relationship between Lokis, and them trusting each other.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Another big thing that happened in this episode, if you guys caught it, is that Loki is bisexual, confirmed in canon in the MCU now.
Oh, because, the whole thing about princes and
He's
princesses.
just like,
Or
yeah.
prince and princesses.
Which that's, I guess, a part of his character in the comics. It's he's gender fluid, is what they said. So.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I had no
Yeah,
idea about that.
and he actually switches from girl to guy in the comics a lot because he can shapeshift, you know. So he bounces between that a lot.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But that's cool. It kind of seemed like he was even flirting with himself, you know. Like there's a lot of tension there between the two.
That's what I was thinking,
And if
too.
Oh, that is true.
I thought there was like a romantic
Loki-
thing going on.
For sure. If Loki's gonna fall in love with anybody, it'd be
Himself,
himself.
of
You know?
course, dude.
Yeah. Like that'd be funny to see.
Oh, jeez.
I wonder everybody's reaction if that does end up going that way. If there is some kind of romantic relationship between Lokis,
Well, it makes
What
sense.
would he-
It makes sense, you know?
it would make sense, you know.
Mm.
But what are people's initial reaction to that? I'm thinking that is weird, but is it weird? Because it's 2 different timelines with 2 different Lokis.
Well,
It's
she's not a
completely
Loki,
different
remember? She's
person.
Sylvie, so it's a totally different
Well,
person.
she's Silver. That is true. I think I want to go over.
Mm.
There's a couple different theories, especially towards the end. There's some weird stuff that was going on. But do you guys think? I was thinking, you know, the temp pad. It was low on energy and then it broke, right?
Yeah.
What if Loki is just casting an illusion over that and showing her that it was low on battery and that it was broke just to see how far he could get her and see if he could trust her? Do you guys think that's on the table or no? Because,
It seems kind of beyond his scope, to be honest, bro.
but would it? You know, because he could do that easily. It's just cast another illusion over that.
He enchants
just to
her?
see.
He enchanted her. I remember the whole thing is him trying to learn how
Maybe.
to enchant.
And
And
maybe
he just
you know?
enchanted the whole illusion.
What if that whole episode was an illusion the whole time?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like he's like playing because the whole thing is about him learning how to enchant people, and he's
Yeah.
actually doing it to her. That'd be awesome. That'd actually be really cool.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh,
Do you think?
I had a huge question. Do you guys remember in the ending scene where one of the buildings collapses on Loki, but he does something where he like puts his hand up and it goes back?
So there's a couple of
Yeah, I
theories
was
out
just-
there.
What was that? Was that him?
One is that because you saw him in the episode 2 in the grocery store, you know how he kinetically like grabbed like the little vacuum thing and started
Yeah.
fighting with it.
Yeah.
Do you remember when that happened?
Mhm.
that it was just this, what is that called again? What is that when you can move stuff with your mind? What is that called
Telekinesis?
again? Yes. Uh, maybe his is just super developed and because that was a huge building that he just picked up and put back.
But I don't think
Yeah.
Loki is within that
Could do
power
that,
range.
right?
If he's within that power
we-
range, Loki could. Well, I mean, he wouldn't get dogged by the Hulk and the Avengers. Like, come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
So, bro,
He
it's
said he
playing
got
more into
it.
the illusion. It's definitely playing more into the
Well,
illusion.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Because, like,
connect it
you got to
back
think
to-
about it. If he really had power like that to stop a whole building from collapsing on people, why wouldn't he have done that in the past? And why did he just do it then and there?
That is true.
Or like the meteor hitting the spaceship, the Ark.
Mhm.
Like, why didn't he stop that? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
The other theory that's out there right now is that he has a time stone.
Oh, he stole
because,
it.
because you remember when he looked in the drawer, he picked up the time stone. Is that maybe he didn't put it back, and it's very like it looked like the same as if it reversed back up.
Oh yeah.
But then you have to argue like he should have used the time stone to fix the temp pad that broke, or to charge it, or to go back from the planet that they were at. There's a lot of different things that kind
But
of
that-
goes against that.
That doesn't seem his motive, dude. His motive is, I really feel like, is wondering, or like, he wants to know what this Loki's purpose is. You know, he wants to like
yeah.
know what she's actually going for.
And if he could trust her.
Exactly. He wants to know like all of that. Why would he care? You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. I can't believe Mobius is a freaking variant. I feel bad. Well, I feel bad for everybody at the TVA.
They're all
'cause they're just in
variants.
this loop. Bro, they're all variants of
That
themselves
is pretty crazy.
that are in this freaking loop. It's going to be interesting to see the timekeepers and what's really going on.
No.
Do you think we see the
We better.
timekeepers this
We
season?
better get something. I don't think the timekeepers are real at this point. I think it's something else going on behind the scenes. But who knows, dude? I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
How are they controlling these people? You know. I don't know.
Cause it is gonna be Loki and Sylvie joining in order to find them, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
They're gonna be a team.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's yeah, for sure. Do you? Oh man, I really like your theory about it all being enchanted and the whole what they experienced. Because that would make sense.
Because it would be hilarious. Because the whole episode is literally him like, oh, can you teach me how to enchant? You know, like it'd be so funny if it really happened that way.
I like that they have different power sets too. That like
Yeah.
the Loki that we always know just learned different magic than her, you know,
Mhm.
because she learned how to enchant. He learned how to do this other thing. That's cool. That depending on what timeline split, they just went through different paths.
So
Yeah.
I had a question. So are all of them? So even though they're all different variations of Loki, are they all like similar in the same way that like they're all kind of like Loki? Or are they all like different from each other?
I think it would depend on when the timeline split for them. It kind of depends on when they took action. Okay, so how is she a female? You know, like what made her become a female? Did something happen way back that altered time in a Nexus event that caused Odin and Frigga to have a female? Or no,
She's adopted, remember?
whoever. Yeah, she's adopted. So whatever ice giants, did ice giants have different kids, you know, and then a female Loki came out like that. There's a lot that goes into that. I don't know. I hope they explain more because they did a good job kind of setting the foundation, but they need to go a layer deeper to really understand variants because we know all the variants that are about to show up in the MCU. We need to have a little more backstory other than, oh yeah, it's just like something happened to the timeline and now these people are completely different or different genders now. It seems like there needs to be more depth there.
Well, what I don't get is if there's all one timeline, right? So like
uh-huh.
I've been thinking about it. Like if this is the whole series is like there's no alternate realities, right? There's only one reality. It's one timeline. So
Mhm.
this is piggybacking off of what you were saying. Like, how was there a female if Loki was always a male throughout the series, even as a boy? If there's no alternate
There had to be something that happened way in the past to alter a bunch of events that make up what's going on, you know?
so she's
So
all
there,
the way from the past. She has to be from the past, right?
Sure. Maybe she's even before the timekeepers came together and made a perfect timeline. Maybe she was,
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. I see
you
what you
know,
mean.
like
Yeah.
when the wars were going on and stuff.
That makes sense.
Another thing that I thought of too was, you know how they said they brought all the different timelines into one?
Yeah.
What time period did that take place in? Did
Yeah.
everything, was that in the future and they just went back in time and kind of made a perfect one? Like, when did that battle occur? Because you would think that, oh, yeah, it was way back in time. And then now the timeline is during current day. But that could have happened way in the future. Like, that event could have been Secret Wars already. It could have had every type of Marvel character that's ever lived in this big battle, and then the timekeepers came together and then went back to the past and kind of combined it, and this is the perfect timeline. That could have, like, the way that we have to think about time and everything, you have to throw it out the window, you know, and when certain things took place.
Definitely.
I don't know, bro. Yeah,
You can't. I
I'm
mean,
excited. Like,
you can't apply logic to it.
no, that they have to define it, and then we just need to
Mhm.
try to understand it.
I think what's
What else
awesome about
happened?
these Disney shows is like we're always in the middle of the season wondering how they're gonna finish it,
Mhm.
you know, and they always pull it off.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't
They
know
did
about.
with the last two.
Falcon and
Falcon and
Winter.
Winter
Bro, you know, I was rewatching some fight scenes from that show, and it was good. Like, the fight scenes and everything were freaking great in that show. Bro, when Bucky and Sam were fighting him in the warehouse,
Yeah,
freaking U.S. agent,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they did the little WWE freaking
Close.
pack breaker,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
That was so lit. Like, it was so good. It really was.
Honestly, dude,
But
the fight
this
scenes in
show
Loki
could
look way better to me. Look better than the ones in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You
pretty
see
good.
Lady Loki fighting?
Bro,
You're
it
tripping,
was
dog.
looking
That's
pretty
like the
crazy,
only
bro.
fight, my boy.
But it looked. Hey, it's already
No,
better
no,
than Bucky.
no. I was gonna bring that up too. Like her fight was really, it was sick.
It was
How they made her.
nice. It was nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
she was
Not
nice
only
with
in the
it.
elevator too, when they were in the train fighting the guards and stuff. Like
Yeah.
they're going crazy.
She was good with it.
Honestly.
What do you guys think of the visual effects on this episode?
Mm,
It's kind of lacking. A little when they would show the overview of the planets, it looked like an illustration, like a drawing. You
Yeah.
know, that was moving. Which I'm fine. Like, those don't have to be anything, but there were some points where you kind of.
or even like the rocks hitting the planet.
Mm,
Like and then when they first got to the 2077 and the planet was crashing. Like you could
the
tell it was
moon,
kind of.
the moon blowing up looked really good.
It did, yeah. At the end,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
looked really
did.
good.
it did.
But it's interesting watching Marvel trying to deal with budget restraints, you know, and it's almost like they pick and choose the episode that they want the effects to look a certain way because they have a budget, obviously.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So maybe this episode had to be horrible. It wasn't horrible, but some of the effects were lacking because there's lots of crazy stuff.
It
to
was
come, you
this
know?
episode was definitely a base episode where it's kind of like, building a foundation of what the series is gonna hopefully end up to be. I felt like,
Yeah.
it's definitely not like, like catching everybody's attention because like,
Mhm.
something
They just
crazy
did that
reveal.
with the first two. Yeah.
They want to build, they want to build that relationship between the two Lokis, I think. Like how you said it. And I think
For sure.
they did it to me personally, I think they did it well. I liked the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Their relationship and stuff. It always, I don't know, you're always looking for like a plot driver, you know, you want to know what's going on, but sometimes you do have to take the time to build a little bit of like layer the characters a little bit
Oh,
so you have more
definitely.
feelings for them, you know.
That's what makes a
spend
story
more time
good,
with them.
because then you actually
Yeah.
feel for the character. You're like, oh, well, this is their relationship. And, like, if something
Mhm.
crazy were to happen, we're like, oh, man, it hurts more because of that foundation that we have.
Yeah. And that's just maybe something that comes with weekly releases. You know, if this if these seasons were released all at once and you watch that episode and then go into the next one, which probably crazy stuff is going to happen. Because Gabriel, you were saying that they said that the fourth episode takes the show in a completely different
Direction.
direction.
Yeah.
Maybe that's to come, and we're going to appreciate the time that they just spent together, learning each other and stuff.
That's true, because at the end of this episode too is like, what was it? The power source they're gonna go to, it got destroyed, right? So like, it
Yeah.
looked like she like gave up. It's like, well,
What do you
what are we
think?
gonna
What
do
do you think is
now?
gonna happen?
I don't know.
Well, it could be an illusion.
I know that's like the only
Lawrence
thing now
said.
is that you put that in my head instead of it's an illusion. He's gonna get them out of there, but
Maybe Mobius shows up.
yeah, that too.
He does know that, right? He knows that they're gonna hide at
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse's.
Just
Oh, that's
finds the right
true.
one.
That's very true.
But everything happening with the TVA, you think he go? No, well, of course he's gonna go look for Loki, right?
Well, like the relationship he was building with that Loki was like he made himself question the timekeepers, you know, like, do you really believe in all this stuff? Maybe Mobius is gonna come to terms with all that and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to, you know, like, who knows. Mobius on a jet ski at the end of the show is happening.
Oh, definitely.
Like
Or
1,000%.
definitely.
Now we know he's a variant and stuff. It's gotta.
He might be like on a jet ski on a tsunami, to be honest with you, because he's gonna go to like one of those,
I hope
realities.
so. That would be amazing.
Well, that would be the only reality
my
he'd be able to go
God.
to, right? Because he could only go to places where there were like mass apocalypses.
He shows up on a jet ski to save him.
No, he does.
That's what's
Oh
gonna
my
happen.
God.
He's riding
Maybe-
a meteor.
Maybe they're trying to convince him that the TVA is fake, and they find an alternate variant of himself.
I can't wait for him to realize he's a variant. Unless he already
Yeah,
knows.
that's what.
But I
Yeah,
feel
that.
like he doesn't.
No.
Wouldn't he know though? I mean, he's been
Or-
a detective, right?
Maybe that's what, like the foreshadowing of freezing their brain. They've freezed only a certain amount of memories they've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But he also,
but
but they also play into the fact that he doesn't care. Remember, like his whole thing is like he doesn't care, like about
Maybe
not
his-
doing anything
his-
but the TVA.
there's got to be some mind control thing going on there.
Yeah.
I wonder why the TVA, because the TVA just more and more sounds like BS, you know.
Yeah.
What is making the TVA so powerful? Like, how are they able to shut off all powers and where they're at? Why does nothing work there? Because it exists outside of all time and space. Like, how does that work?
Is that what they said? Did they say it's? Oh yeah, it is, right? It's outside of time.
Yeah, a lot of
Huh.
people are theorizing in the deleted scenes of Ant-Man 2. There was a scene with Hank Pym and his wife that he rescued. Oh, Jesus Christ, I should know her name. When he rescued her from the quantum realm,
Yeah.
they were walking and she was saying, like, there's so much we don't know about this place. There's whole cities. There's life here in the quantum realm, like that we never knew.
She did say
And
that, didn't
in
she?
In the back of when they're walking, you see this big old bubble, and it looks like a city is in this bubble. I'll throw it up in the podcast.
Whoa.
What if the TVA? What if that's the TVA that is in this little bubble? Because technically they would be outside of time and whatever. Because the quantum realm goes down into atoms and stuff like that. Maybe that's where they're located. I don't know.
Remember, wasn't there? Who was the writers for Rick and Morty? Remember they were supposed to do a Marvel show. What Marvel was that going to be? Was that Loki?
It's the show. Michael
It's Loki?
Waldron. Michael Waldron.
Okay.
He did the first season of Rick and Morty, and then he just got done writing the fourth. And this is the first show that he did for Marvel, and he got pulled off of this show when he was done with it to go rewrite Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with oh my God, director Sam Raimi. So,
What?
because they thought this show was so good, the writing was so good in the show, they wanted him to go and rewrite that movie. And there's
is gonna end good.
rumors. Hell yeah.
That's gonna end good.
Hopefully there's a
the
connection then.
rumors. No, there's gotta be.
Well, I
There's
mean,
gotta be.
The last two, bro, they haven't really come.
Up until this point, but we'll see what happens with the movies. You know,
I saw one episode of Rick and Morty, and I was like, dang, they go like deep into.
they go so deep.
Yeah.
The writing is so great.
Yes.
Oh, Rick and Morty's hilariously great. Rick and Morty's
And
awesome.
I remember reading that, and I didn't know it was this show already.
Yep.
What?
He also, there's rumors of him writing. Kevin Feige is supposed to produce a Star Wars movie.
Mhm.
You know who Kevin Feige is?
Yeah.
he is asking for him to write that movie for him
Ooh.
What?
because that's how good this dude is apparently. I've been watching interviews with him with the show. I like him a lot. I'm a
Yeah.
fan now. Yeah.
What's his name?
Michael Waldron.
That is crazy though. I did not know it was this show. That just came into my head.
Now everything makes sense.
Wait,
Poor-
Whoa,
we get a
this
Rick and
guy's
Morty
young.
crossover?
God.
Bro, imagine you see Rick.
No.
That would
He
be
pops
amazing.
up real quick. You're like, what's up, guys?
Rick in the MCU needs that.
Wubba lubba dub dub. And he walks away. You see like
That's
a
crazy.
Morty.
Michael Waldron is only 34. Yeah, 34 years old.
He's gonna be around for a while.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Hopefully he keeps
Yeah.
riding.
Heck yeah, dude! I'm excited.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right, guys, you want to end it there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Later.
It was
Thank
fun.
you.
And we'll be back next week.
Yes, sir.
See ya.